Lionel Messi and his move away from Barcelona has absolutely broken the internet in the last 12 to 24 hours. Word out of Paris Saint-Germain is the club and the players are confident that Lionel Messi will move to Paris Saint-Germain imminently. The majority of the first team squad have had conversations with him. The owners, the CEO have had conversations with him, and confidence is growing in the PSG camp that they can get this deal done and bring Lionel Messi to Ligue 1 and stop him from, in any way, shape, or form, going back to Barcelona. But there are lots of other rumors circulating as well. First of all, Chelsea Football Club reported to have made contact with the Lionel Messi camp, with Roman Abramovich demanding a meeting urgently to see whether a deal can be struck to bring the Argentinian superstar, one of the greatest two football players ever on planet Earth, to Stamford Bridge. There is also a fan theory from, this is not Barcelona fans essentially, but football fans in general, that maybe, just maybe, he will end up back at Barcelona again. I've got Igal and David on the show with me today. We're going to be delving into this. We are going to be talking Lautaro Martinez to Arsenal and a third attempt or a third offer that's on the cards to be made by Arsenal Football Club to try and sign the striker from Inter Milan this week, as per Dean Jones, highly pivotal in Arsenal's pursuit of this very talented young forward. We are going to touch also on the situation with player exits from Manchester City. Of course, they have ruled themselves out of signing Lionel Messi today. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button as well. Today's show is sponsored by FanTeams, and we're going to be going into the brand new fantasy league that we are partnered with for over the course of this season, where we, via our partners, will be giving you the chance to win part of our £1 million prize pool, with the top prize being £200,000. So make sure you stay tuned for that later on in the show, where we're picking our fantasy team. Hit that like and share button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. You know what comes next. Here we go. Gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome. How are you doing, boys?
I'm good. What you do?
Mate,
I'm doing fine.
You're good. Cool. I'm glad you're well, gents. I'm glad you're well. Picking our fantasy teams later on. And again, you boys, chance to win £200,000 each this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get onto that a little bit later on as well. But we're starting with Lionel Messi. You know, we're not going to stand on ceremony here. It's, for me, in the social media era of football, this is the biggest transfer story ever, in my opinion. Even though it ain't a transfer, it's a potential free signing. Lots going on. Before we delve into the rumors of Chelsea, PSG, Man City ruling themselves out, we're going to delve into all of what's being said. I just want your reaction, David, when you heard the news last night that Barcelona cannot re-sign him and he's leaving the club.
Shock. More than anything, I thought, like, especially after last season when he said, I wanted to leave and he stayed, I thought that was it. He's going to stay for the rest of his career, probably until maybe he went off to America. But now it seems like this is a thing where it could happen. Personally, I'm one of the people that it's probably a power play from these bigger sides in La Liga to try and keep their money up. But if he goes, I mean, that's a massive loss for them. Suddenly El Clasico goes from Messi, Ronaldo to Vinicius Braithwaite, and it just the value of that league just suddenly drops by 20-30% very quickly.
It absolutely. How about yourself, Igal? From my point of view, it was one of those moments I just couldn't believe it. I may have misread this, but I saw a tweet from Fabrizio say he's arrived, he's signing, it's done, it's dusted, and then it was just off through no fault of his own. What was your reaction to the news? Like, where were you? How did you react?
Okay, so I was literally streaming while I was doing it, and I was talking about James Madison, and I said, you know what, everybody stop. We need to talk about this. What's going on? Messi's leaving Barcelona. I was shocked that they dropped a video, how quick they did everything. There were no rumors came out literally just a couple of days ago. The day before, he said Messi signing a new contract, and then immediately the day after he's leaving Barcelona, Barcelona have all these things prepared. Now, I'm not going to get into the fact that I think it might be a ploy, but when it comes down to it, it's historic, because if he does leave Barcelona, everyone's going to remember where they were when they found out Messi was leaving Barcelona, what they were doing when they found out Messi was leaving Barcelona. This is equivalency to football great moments and tragedies that you remember where you were when things were happening. This is one of those moments historically you're going to just remember what you were doing at the time when Messi was announced that he was leaving Barcelona, if he does end up leaving.
I do agree with you on that, because football, I feel like football's different now than any other era before, because we may not get the access that locally that you used to get to players, you know, them coming into the pub after a game and having a drink with fans. But the access you get now for social media, the ability to, like, if this was 15 years ago, the news, maybe you've seen it on Sky Sports News, and then the next time you would have got an update would have been in the morning when you read a paper, and then you had to wait another. You read it in the morning, and who did you have to talk to about it? Maybe someone at work, maybe a friend when you go to the gym, but that was it, right? And then you waited for the next paper update. Because now of the intensity of social media and the 24-hour news cycle, it's just there, so that the buzz around it is absolutely impeccable. In terms of where he's going to go, I want to start with we'll go to Paris Saint-Germain in a minute, because they seem the most likely. Man City have ruled themselves out. Did you both feel that was David, was that a dot on a card for you that City would rule themselves out of this?
Yeah, I don't see how they can afford him, potentially Kane and Messi. I mean, that's overkill at that point. I don't see it personally.
I think it's a situation, Terry, where the new rules with homegrown talent is going to be coming in, and they want to secure two of the best homegrown players in the Premier League, in Jack Grealish and Harry Kane. They're not too focused on bringing in foreign players at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I actually think Pep's comments today were basically, we didn't think he was available, or he said no. We went for Grealish, that's done. I wonder if there's an element, though, of Pep that's like, I can't believe this has happened the day we signed. It's almost, I said the other day about Man United, if we'd have rushed into signing Pau Torres, and then the Varane deal was real, that sense of, we were too quick. So we all want our clubs to sign players quick, but sometimes quicker isn't always better, especially as a lot of these issues with players, a lot of the big transfers happen towards the end of windows, don't they, where someone becomes available, fallouts, etc. Chelsea, though. Chelsea Football Club have been linked as well, David. And I want to get your view on this. I want to read out here. Zach Lowry has shared this. And what Zach Lowry has said is that Chelsea have decided to attempt to sign Lionel Messi in addition to Romelu Lukaku. So there was an initial report that I shared where they said it was instead of, right? This says in addition to. Roman Abramovich wants a meeting immediately with Messi's entourage to discuss the deal. He went on to say that Chelsea realized that Manchester City will struggle to sign Messi, or they won't be signing Messi after agreeing a £100 million deal for Grealish. And while they know they are behind PSG in the race, they will listen to Messi's demands and consider a potential deal for him. I mean, first of all, do you think Chelsea have made that contact? And secondly, do you think it could happen?
It's a tough one, because it wouldn't shock me if Roman did try it. I just don't see it happening. Like I can't see Messi in a Chelsea shirt. Now, if it's an option, like without a question, you go for it, because he's, for me personally, he's the best footballer who's ever played the game. So of course, even if you can have him for 1 or 2 seasons, you take him, you put him into your squad, you shoehorn him in, whether it means that Havertz or Mount has got to be dropped. I really don't care, because Messi is he's just at a different level. But I can't see it. I don't see it. The only thing I think we might have over someone like a PSG is the fact that it's the Premier League, and it's probably better for Messi to go into the Prem than France. But apart from that, I don't really see where Chelsea fits into this.
What about the buyback value that you were talking about for Lukaku the other day?
Nah, Messi, but you see, when it comes to Messi, though, no. Again, if I'm going to be honest with you, Messi probably isn't. He probably isn't worth it if you looked at it. However, it's Messi, so he gets a pass. Every rule has an exception. Messi is that exception. So the whole resale thing, it can for Messi.
Yeah, I think with Messi, of course, there's no resale value in him. He's 34 years of age, just like he is at the end of his career. The thing is, though, he's a 34-year-old who last season, in what I would consider to be a quite tumultuous year for Barcelona, he still scored 38 goals in 47 games. He's still one of the best football players on planet Earth. And I think if he joined any club, forget Chelsea, but any club, he'll score 35, 40 goals for them no matter what. But I feel like 15 to 20 of those goals are brand new goals that your club isn't scoring without him, because you just watch last year, just watch his highlights of last year. I'm guaranteeing you 15 of those goals minimum. You think, how did he do that? And that's the point. It's not he's going to take goals away from other people, or you're just going to go, okay, it was Tammy Abraham scoring them. It's now Lionel Messi. Messi is going to do things that nobody else in your squad can do. The problem is at 34, is it worth that money? Now, you've got to look at it from this point of view. It depends on how relaxed FFP rules are. It simply does, because you might listen. We all know leagues can be corrupt, right? I wouldn't even put it past the Premier League to give him a pass, because the Premier League want Messi here as a brand, as a company. Of course they do. So look, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it's impossible for Chelsea to get him. We said earlier on backstage. Look at it from this point of view. It wouldn't be hard for Chelsea to approach a $100 billion turnover crypto company. Loads of them around now. We want you to do a sponsor. We'll name the bloody stadium, the crypto card stadium, for 2 years. Every penny that you pay for us to do it pays the salary of Lionel Messi. Like, I'm throwing it out there, pie in the sky. If there's a will, there's a way. Let's see what he's asking for. Let's see what can be done. But Paris Saint-Germain are leading the way. That's something that's undeniable. And I think what's really interesting. One second, my bro. I want to read here. This is from Mohamed Basfari. He said that all the players at PSG have spoken to him. Paredes has spoken to him. Neymar has been sending him messages and pushing for this deal and driving it for over a week. All the players in the dressing room and the staff are confident, especially since City's retirement from this deal. Paris Saint-Germain, right? Unless this is a ploy, and this is where I want your opinions here, because we're going to go into what the poll says. The poll that we've put up today across all our social media networks is, where will Messi end up next summer? 65% here on Twitter, YouTube, think it's going to be Paris Saint-Germain. Are you confident, David, that he will be a Paris Saint-Germain player, or do you still think there could be a sting in the tail of the story?
I'll give it 40% he's in a PSG shirt. The other 60 is split between, I'd say 59 Barcelona, 1% Chelsea because of hope. But 40% PSG. Again, it's one of those where it's overkill. You'll have a front line of Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, Di Maria. That's that. I'm sorry. It's almost too much. It is almost too much. It's unfair. That is the equivalent of a super team in the NBA. It's unfair. It shouldn't be allowed. But somehow, if anyone was to pull it off, it would be PSG. It just would be. But again, for his legacy, is it the right thing? I'm not sure. I don't think it's the right thing for his legacy. But if PSG are there paying his wages, he'd rather be in a PSG shirt than not in a shirt at all. So it wouldn't shock me again.
Imagine, Terry. Just the other day, we were talking about how players don't want to play together. They want to compete against each other. And now you have Messi joining up with Neymar and Mbappe and Ramos and all these guys. Isn't that just a coincidence?
Well, it is and it isn't. I think Messi's at the end of his career. Messi's done all of that. I actually think it's almost impossible for Messi to win another Ballon d'Or, the same as Cristiano Ronaldo. I think that award has gone out the way. They're looking at the younger guys now. And he's 34. This is a 2-year contract max wherever he goes. At the same time, I was about to say, Gal, PSG are pushing for it. All the players are pushing for it. Some of them want to be careful because one of them's going to be gone. Like, can you imagine? You're like, yeah, you're Angel Di Maria. You're like, yes, my guy, my brother from my homeland here. Yeah, Angel, can you step into the office for a minute? Yes. You're off to Spurs. You know what I mean? you imagine? Because they're going to have to rejuggle their books. They are. I mean, I'm a bit like yourselves. I think Paris Saint-Germain are leading the way. The news has come from too many credible sources for there not to be. There's a lot of smoke from these credible sources, so there has to be an element of fire for me. The poll at 65%, that's what I would go with. I still think for me, though, there is that sting in the tail. I'll go 1% City, 1% Chelsea, and the remainder, I still have this little feeling that La Liga might crumble. That La Liga might, just might, give them some leeway or change the ruling or rewrite a bylaw. Something may happen that allows him to re-sign for them. I just feel like, I don't know, you know, like in a movie when the baddie or the killer dies and then they come back from the dead for one last strike. I just got that little feeling in my gut that might be the case. We have some super chats here. First one from Jake Snacks11, who says, we Arsenal fans are at a point we should target a manager for January. It's too late in the window and nothing has happened, finishing 9th or 12th. We'll get back onto that a little bit later, Jake, when we cover Arsenal and Martinez. But thank you very much for that super chat. We will delve into that a little bit more. Got it saved up here now. My brother here, Monsieur Ahmed, says Messi at the end of his career, but imagine the commercial money coming in, especially with shirt sponsors and making the club more valuable. Listen, that's why I'm surprised Liverpool ain't gone in. I thought Liverpool earned like 20% of all shirt sales. Lionel Messi has 240 million fans, 100 million fans on Facebook. If he sells 100 million shirts for you, your quid's in, right? Come on, Liverpool. You've got the best shirt deal ever that was going to make you the richest club in the world. Get to spending it. We had another super chat from Lang and Sweet here. There's too many comments coming through for me to actually keep up and get them all on the screen. So I'm going to put it into slow mode a little bit here, just so that we can keep a bit more of control on that. He says that Pep and City have said they had no money and then got Grealish. I wouldn't rule City out. Do you think that's a fair point, Igal, in terms of ruling City out?
I think it would have been a fair point if they didn't already spend this type of money on Jack Grealish, and they already have so many players on their books that play similar position to Lionel Messi. They're going to have to get rid of some of their players. That's why we're seeing all these links for Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, and Riyad Mahrez all leaving. But none of those guys are. If any of those guys don't leave, there's no way they're bringing Messi in. It just does not make sense. Financially, anything at all. You cannot bring in a player of Lionel Messi's stature and still have all these players on the books when you're paying Lionel Messi £1 million a week. It makes no sense.
I totally agree with that. I do. Viewers, we want your views. We want your opinions on this. Make sure you've smashed that the like button and subscribe. Remember, later on today, we are going to be going through and taking a look and picking my fantasy football team in association with our partners, FanTeam. The fantasy football team here, as you can see, with a prize giveaway of £1 million. The top prize of £200,000 to the winner of the Super League. We're going to go into it a little bit more later. The boys are going to help me pick my team. We're going to look at their team as well. You're going to have the opportunity to get yourself registered for that. All the information to register is inside the description below already. We will go into that in a little bit more detail in about 20 to 25 minutes time. Comment here from Monster says, Terry, do you think Messi will have the same wages? It's really interesting. It's really, really interesting indeed of a question, because yes, potentially, unless nobody offers him those wages and the Barca thing falls apart. Then he's in a position of, do I not play football? Do you get what I mean? So that's what's interesting here. Yeah, he can get that. If you've got any questions about any of these transfers, make sure you get them in. Member chats and super chats will always be prioritized. Thank you here to Michael, who has just become a first-team member of the Football Terrace. And we've got some announcements coming a little bit later in relation to the Football Terrace away days, the studio that opens, Unit 7, the new home of the Football Terrace, from the 20th of this month. Yes, Igal, go for it, bro.
Personally, guys, I don't know why we haven't gone into this yet. I feel like it is a ploy. I think this is the biggest power play of all time, because Lionel Messi himself, has he come out with a statement yet? Has his team come out with a statement yet? Because for as long as he's been at Barcelona, we've seen Jack Grealish sign for Man City. Immediately he said, he put out a statement. He put out a statement saying, I love you guys, everything to Aston Villa. Lionel Messi would probably do the same thing for Barcelona. Am I mistaken? Like, why is there no statement from Lionel Messi's camp? Why is there no Instagram post, Twitter post? What's going on with Lionel Messi? Because I haven't heard of anything from his
I
team.
think there was a statement. Didn't Fabrizio share it yesterday?
What did he say?
I
might
didn't
have
read
missed
it.
it.
I swear there was a statement. I'm pretty
I
sure
want-
I saw a statement.
I want to say no. There was. I remember the statement for Barcelona, but I think that's. But again, I'm on the Gal side where I think it's a ploy. But I'm not sure he's actually put himself. He's saying that I've gone. No, he hasn't himself. I just think I do think it's a ploy. I think if I was Barcelona, I'd walk into their office and literally I'd just have El Clasico and I'd have Vinicius and I'd have Braithwaite put it on the table and say, if this is what you really want, then cool, let's do this. But if not, you'll know what's good for you. Because again, ultimately, it's a negative for them to let Messi go. It's better for La Liga to have Barcelona be unfairly have more wage than the rest of the teams, but keep Messi. And again, all the Spanish teams know as well, if Messi goes, their income is going to be affected.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say that I barely watched La Liga already. If Messi leaves, that's their biggest draw. So for casuals that watch La Liga, it's going to be a situation where that league is not going to have as much viewership. I might even say, to a certain degree, they might not have as much sponsorship based on the fact that they no longer have Lionel Messi and they no longer have Cristiano Ronaldo. If anybody invests in La Liga right now, they're investing in the future of the league, but they have nothing. They have no big draws at the moment. Benzema and Luis Suarez at his age and a guy who scored 2 goals over the past 2 years in Eden Hazard are their franchise players, are their main draws to the league. It's kind of pathetic.
And the thing with it is as well, the other clubs, this is why none of the Premier League teams voted to majorly punish the Super League teams, because there's no mileage. Elements of reasoning behind why these teams wanted to start a Super League make sense. I actually understand Man United and Liverpool as an example, and Chelsea and Arsenal, who probably bring in globally 70 to 75, maybe even 80% of total views for Premier League football. So I totally understand why they think they deserve a bigger cut of the pie, because they're generating that. So there's always a happy medium to be found here. So I think if they went to the rest of the league and said, look, can we make an exception for Barcelona so they can re-sign Messi? I think the majority would vote. You can probably find Atletico wouldn't, and a few of the teams that think they could challenge for the title. But I think the vast majority most certainly would. But viewers, what do you think? You've got an opportunity to vote. We've got a vote out right now. Where do you think Lionel Messi will be playing next season? 63% of the vote are saying it's going to be PSG. Over 2,000 of you had voted. Make sure if you've voted, you've also hit the like button on the show as well. Get that like button smashed right now. We are going to be talking about Lautaro Martinez in a few moments. Before that, Aaron here says, doesn't feel or seem like a play to me. The fact they are reporting Barca have to get rid of 7 players to re-sign him. I think he has gone. He very much could be. Listen, it's one of those things. I think because it's Barcelona, people think it's a power play. So I totally understand that the theory behind it and the logic behind it. It does make sense. Monster here says Barca and Real Madrid are getting relegated. They're still in the Super League. Yeah, I mean, when you hear Real Madrid courts coming out with statements like officially all the teams are still in the Super League, it's like they're so desperate for money and whatnot. Those boys.
did you see how much money like Barcelona lost? It was like 483 million. I can't myself, if I really tried to, I can't spend 483 million pounds in a year. If I actively tried to spend that money, it wouldn't happen. So how Barcelona have ended up in a situation where they're that down bad and half the players there aren't good enough, and the one person you'd think you'd sign first you haven't made cap room for him, but you had Griezmann on 700,000 a week. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It's terrible running. You know what I said before? Badly run clubs don't prosper. Now you can get away with it when like a lot of the big businesses in the UK that went bust when the financial crash happened didn't die because of the financial crash. They died because they were run poorly, and the crash exposed that poor running and that poor financial the poor financial operations within those businesses. Suddenly there was no money to borrow from banks or whoever, and they collapsed. That's what's happened to Barcelona here because of COVID. COVID has exposed all the terrible running. La Liga has been going backwards from a commercial standpoint compared to the Premier League for over 10 years. The viewing figures alone tell you this. But what they've continued to do is continue spending at a rate they can't afford. But they've been borrowing money and, robbing Peter to pay Paul, essentially, to get themselves into this position. And now it's all come unstuck because they've lost a huge amount of money. So, look, I actually think as well, from Barca's point of view, they need to let go of Messi because they have to rebuild again. And bringing him in now at 34 on 800 grand a week is stupid. They should reinvest that money in younger players and start rebuilding the team for the future, because where are you going to be in 2 years' time when he actually retires? Your squad's going to be... Yeah, they shouldn't do it. As a football club, it's sad to see him go, but they have to cut them. They shouldn't be cutting their nose off to spite their face. They want to wipe their mouths. They want a clean, fresh slate, start to rebuild from a financial standpoint. And we might just, yes, they might not win a Champions League now for 10, 15 years. Like, it really could be that bad for them. No skin off my nose. Some super chats here say a major network in Canada acquired La Liga rights this season. I can't see them and other sponsors wanting to pay the same amount for La Liga without Messi. It's probably a play. This is true, but we have to understand, I don't know, I haven't read the reports, when those deals start and then how quickly those clubs get the money. So that 2.9 billion I saw, that might be spread over a 3-year period. So is that enough to resolve the issue in the here and now? Maybe not. So we'll see what happens there. Zubair here says, Terry, can you please turn up the volume on your mic? We can't hear you. You can't hear me? Okay, I'll turn the volume up a bit. Is that a bit better? I've turned the volume up. Whereas it sounds like Igal shouting every time. Interesting that you say that. I'll put that on auto from him. Thank you very much. I couldn't hear that. If no one gives us these updates, we don't often know in terms of how people sound. Let me know if that's a little bit better for you, my friend. That's been updated now. Some more super chats to go through here. I've been an Arsenal fan since 1999, and we need new players and a manager, in my opinion. I feel the decline really started in 2015. Cheers and love the work rate. Thank you very much. We're moving on to Arsenal in a few short moments. There's a comment here that says 1.2 billion in debt. Barca is such a poorly run club. For all the talk of Premier League teams, respect the EPL for oversight. Listen, the EPL is a lot of things, but from a business standpoint, it is run impeccably well. And listen, there's some Premier League clubs that have survived through being run poorly because of how good the Premier League is and the level of money that we generate compared to our European counterparts. Super chat here. Nothing was said, but thank you very, very much for the donation. Very humbling to get that from you today. There's rumors going around that Roman wants urgent talks with the Messi camp. What do you make of that? Yeah, we already addressed that a little bit earlier, and I would say that's bang on. I would say that is, of course they're doing that. I think if I found out Man United made no contact just to test the water, that would make me more disappointed than not signing him at all. Like, I want my club to see what's going on. So I said it yesterday when the news broke. I'd be shocked if all the big clubs in Europe did not make an approach to at least speak to the entourage to see what was what. Look, they might ring up and he says, listen, he's already going PSG. He's made his mind up. Thank you, but no thank you. But at least you've tried. Don't you think if La Liga changes its rules, both Madrid clubs will complain about it and Real will get Mbappe and Pogba on high wages? I don't know the rulings. I don't know if their rulings are the same, David, as in the Premier League, whereby you have to... it's like all clubs get an equal vote. It's like a partnership, essentially, and it's like a business, but everyone's an equal shareholder. I don't know how La Liga works like that. I'm not sure if any of you two know.
No. I thought it was something across the lines where they need like 1/3 to agree.
But
okay.
So that's why Real Madrid and Barcelona might be the most strongest teams, but you still need 1/3, and Real Madrid only make up 2 out of the 20 or 18 teams that are in La Liga.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it might slightly be weighted. I want to say. I think Real Madrid and Barcelona have like a bit more voting power in it, but they need more than that. They need more than just those two.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A few people saying, Terry,
on the Barcelona thing quickly.
1 second, bro. 1 second. There's a comment here that says, Terry, no, we didn't end the Twitch stream. Sometimes Twitch like cuts off and goes back on again. So if you're watching on Twitch, it should be back really, really soon. Yeah, final point, Igal. Go for it, mate.
Remember, we spoke about Barcelona being in this financial situation during the season when we were watching the Champions League, and I came on and I got a lot of heat for this, but I said Barcelona financially are in a worse situation than any Premier League club. You might call Arsenal a dead club, but what I consider somebody a dead club is a club that's so poorly run they get themselves in a situation like today. And Barcelona might find themselves in an AC Milan, Inter Milan situation where they now go on a drought for like 10 years. And this is not even me throwing salt. I would love to see it as a rival of Barcelona, where they beat us in the 2006 final. But right now, obviously, we haven't been competing nowhere near that level. And I'm seeing them, they're going to drop down to this level. And they might not even get European football next season.
Mate, let's see what happens with losing Messi. I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Tahir here says, Chelsea fans take note. Barca run so poorly, nearly bankrupt. Thank Roman every day for his love and support of our team. And listen, anyone who's got good owners that keeps your heads not just above water, but keeps you enriched. That's why when people moan about what Roman does, I just think, how spoiled can you be? You know, oh, we should have bid an extra 10 million for. Shut up. Like, there's no Chelsea. Any Chelsea fan who moans about Haaland, like, I just lose instant, not Haaland, about Roman. I lose instant respect for them because he didn't only save your club from maybe going out of existence. He's turned you into one of the biggest clubs in the world. This isn't like you weren't one of the biggest in the world and you died and came back to life. He made you into this club, like along with the players and the management, but all under his supervision. Neil here says, very disappointing that he could end up at PSG. If he were at the end of, if he were to end up in the Prem and win the league and Champions League, he will, in my opinion, be eclipsing everything that Ronaldo has done. And listen, Neil, maybe that's going to be maybe that's what the likes of Chelsea are going to try and sell to him. Maybe that's the hook. I mean, I agree with you. I feel like PSG is a good retirement plan for him. You know, pick up, 20, 30, 40 million pounds, win the league easy, and be part of a really vibrant and brilliant squad right now. I tell you who's feeling the most pressure today, though. Pochettino. Because Mauricio Pochettino, if Messi signs, if he comes in, he has to win. He has to win the league. Like, if he doesn't win the league, like, he gets sacked anyway. If he doesn't win the Champions League with this squad that he's accumulated over the course of this season, with the world-class talent, the plethora of ability that was already there, plus Messi, like, for me, Poch should not only be sacked, he should retire from management 110%. And I'm not saying I'm a Poch fan, but if you can't do it with this squad, when you're rated by so many as being like one of the top 2, top 3, top 4 managers in the world, you're done for me. You're out of here. If he doesn't win the league, if he doesn't win the league, he has to retire from football. If he doesn't win the Champions League in the next 2 years, if he has Messi, he's a failure, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is about him going to PSG, I don't know how he fits. Like, again, especially with the way Pochettino plays football, when they're all pressing in quite a tight shape. How he's gonna get Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe to press when all of them are known for being not exactly the most defensively aware players. It's going to be quite interesting to see. But I'm again, when you can score 5 or 6 goals, I mean, do you really have to defend? Not really. That
very much could be it. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We're going to move on and talk about some other points. We'll come back to this a little bit this a little bit later. Remember, we're going to be taking you through the brand new FanTeam Fantasy League in the Premier League this season. It's a brand new partner that we've got here at the Football Terrace. All of you can enter as long as you're over the age of 18. We're going to be going through that in about 10 minutes time, where we're giving away the winner of this fantasy league, this Premier League Fantasy League this year, will win £200,000 cash. And we're giving away every player that finishes inside the top 5,000 positions will win money. Second place at 75 grand and much, much more. That's to come a little bit later on in the show. But I do want to speak now about a certain player linked with Arsenal Football Club. Lautaro Martinez has been on their wanted list. He's a number 1 priority from a striker and a forward point of view. Now, as reported by Dean Jones on a number of occasions this week was pivotal in the chase for Martinez. This week was pivotal because of what was going on with Lukaku, because of the pressure on Arsenal to get this deal done first. A couple of bids of cash plus players have been turned down. a reported third offer is going to go in, and it's all that's been told right now. It's going to be an improved offer on the previous two. It will go in. It will be what the media will call an unofficial offer or an informal offer. It'll be done via a third party stroke intermediary for Lautaro Martinez. Arsenal are still pushing for it. The update is that Arsenal are still pushing for it, and they are still encouraged that this deal could be done. If you read into the news about what's actually happened to the parent company of the investors around Inter Milan, they are in absolute dire straits. Absolute dire straits as it stands right now. So Arsenal are still pushing along with this deal. They don't seem to be panicking. They haven't just walked away this week. They haven't thrown the towel in on the deal either. That tells a lot of people in the industry that they are still confident they can get this deal over the line. Gal, we had a few super chats earlier on as well. First one from Jake that says Arsenal need to look at a new manager. It's too late in the transfer window. We had another one that came through from, and I want to try and make sure I get the person's name here. This was from Demetrios, who said he's been an Arsenal fan since 1999, but they need new players and a manager right now. He's really worried about the start of the season. Like, what's your thought and feeling on this? The fact you're not giving up, first of all, on Martinez, does that encourage you as an Arsenal fan?
What it tells me, Terry, is that we're looking to spend near 60 million on a striker, or at least a marquee signing this summer. That's what the main thing that I know is that Arsenal have put away at least 60 to 70 million on a marquee signing this summer, because we're both going after Maddison and Martinez at the same time. So that could mean we might be spending another 120 million this summer with two possible signings. I know it's hard to believe, but this could be what we could be doing at the end of the day. So that's one thing I take away from it. When it comes to Martinez specifically himself, I look at the whole Lukaku situation and everything going around at Inter, and I say to myself, this also means Lacazette is probably going to be leaving, or Eddie Nketiah is going to be probably leaving also. So there's going to be people leaving the club in the coming weeks. So guys, we're changing our players. We're trying to change the team. We're bringing in somebody of high quality, who even Barcelona were looking at a couple of years, just last year, we're looking at him to be the main guy. He played for Argentina in the Copa Americas as the main striker. And if you're going to look at Lacazette, what he does, Lacazette, and what Martinez does, it's night and day. Martinez replaces Lacazette immediately as that guy who plays that similar false nine position in our team right now, who drops deep. And we have a better, faster, younger overall player than Lacazette, which upgrades our team tenfold. I'm not saying he's going to come in and happen guaranteed, but if he does happen, it's night and day, the upgrade from Lacazette. Let's be real.
It is. I mean, David, do you feel that Arsenal can get this done and over the line?
I mean, if he's as much of a guarantee as Igal said about Ferran Torres at the Euros, then I don't think he's worth 60 mil. But I've said it before. I think that Lautaro Martinez is the kind of player that I think will get Arsenal to where they want to be, which is fifth. Pretty much. I don't see them breaking into that top four, but he's definitely a player that can bridge that gap between them and like a Leicester. Or, I mean, Spurs. I mean, again, Spurs is kind of an interesting one because of what's going on with Nuno and so on. Because again, I'm a Chelsea fan. Seen them both. Seen Arsenal play. Seen Spurs play in pre-season. Even though you can't really take much from it, but Arsenal look a lot closer knit as a team than Spurs already did. So Martinez will, make that gap a bit bigger. I think their aim should be we should try and beat Leicester this season. Get as close to the top four as you can. I just don't see them breaking into it no matter what signings they make. I mean, unless they get Messi, but come on, like Messi's not going there.
No, it's hard. Look, for me, it's an encouraging sign. This week's pivotal, but the fact they haven't panicked, the fact they're still making offers, the fact they're still working on this deal. I mean, I know that officially the Inter Milan situation hasn't been announced yet. I don't know. I don't think Arsenal are a stupid football club. Whether people want to agree with that or not is entirely up to them. I don't see them continuing to chase Martinez if they know it. Everyone knows this Lukaku deal is going to go through. The fact they're still working on this deal, they haven't put it to bed, says they've had this encouragement. And I remember a few weeks ago when a number of outlets said that Arsenal had been encouraged by the noises coming out of Leicester and the Maddison camp, and everybody scoffed at it. And then it all turned out to be completely and utterly true. So it's coming from the same sources. So it's going to be an interesting one there. Viewers, I want your views and opinions on Arsenal's chase of Martinez. Can they get it done? Can they get it over the line? Some more super chats here. Can we expect Man United to bid since Man City pulled out? Honestly, I would be so shocked if Man United even tried to sign Lionel Messi. I don't think there's any chance at all I really don't think there's any chance at all that happens. I'd love it to happen, Vish, but I can't see it. Terry, it is a ploy to entice a sponsor to pay his wages. I mean, look, all these things could be true from a Barcelona point. I think they're sound theory. The way that Barcelona, you could tell that you could hear the pain in Barcelona's, couldn't you, boys? You could hear the pain in their voices in the interview, the way they kept on just mentioning La Liga, the blaming La Liga's rules. I did sort of feel like, well, I understand COVID's impacted your income, but when you put yourself in that vulnerable position, when you don't need to be, that's the point. Like, a lot of working class people live paycheck to paycheck, and if they lose their income for whatever reason, they're in trouble, but they have very little choice. But if you're a wealthy person, you earn really good money, but you spend every single penny of it every weekend, you piss it all up the wall on fast cars, nightclubs, alcohol, and clothes, and then you lose your job and you're potless. That's your fault. You could have been saving some of that money every week so that you've got a nice pot of cash for a rainy day, as the other clubs have done. Like this, remember, even with the owners of like Man City and Chelsea, there's only a certain amount of money those owners can pump into the football club. The difference is that I've said this before about the Haaland deal. I believe the reason Chelsea didn't go to certain levels on that deal is they're thinking about the impact 3 to 4 to 5 years down the line with increased wage salaries for the overall squad. How actually would that impact us from an income versus outgoing? You know, and then you've got to weigh these things up. And at the end of the day, well-run clubs would never do what Barcelona have done. Casey here says, for Barcelona fans, it sucks, but we needed to think about no Messi's future for a long time. This is true. COVID is partly responsible for the mess. Barca earned more revenue than every Premier League club in the 2019-20 season. And that goes to prove the point, though, boys. They earned more turnover, but they spent they paid Messi and Griezmann too much money. Like, these players, what are they on? What is it, like
Griezmann's on 700,000 euros a week.
Exactly.
Griezmann. No, but Messi's is understandable though, because he's that guy.
No, but a week? That's crazy.
But again, this is the thing. Messi's one of those. Messi is a very, very rare case where it's this. We have to keep this guy at all costs. We keep paying him; he'll stay. We keep him happy as much as we can, because you don't want to have an angry Messi. It's not worth it. Messi. So even though a mil is again very extravagant, I understand it. But Griezmann is the one where I go, you're paying Griezmann 700,000 a week. Frankie de Jong's on 250, and I don't think many Barca fans would tell you that Griezmann is worth more to Barca than Frankie de Jong is. Yeah. So how we've ended up with that disparity in wage doesn't make sense.
La Liga needs to do something, Terry.
Sorry?
La Liga needs to implement a wage structure where no player can get over a certain amount per week, because this is
no, because you can't control. They can't do that. They actually can't do that because they're in the EU, and the EU has a law and a rule against that. You can't. It's free market. But however, it's not. No one needs a law. I don't need the British government to stop me overspending. It's my responsibility to not overspend. It's Barcelona's responsibility to not overspend. We don't need generally. We don't need hands held through every aspect of life. I know if I've got £100 in my bank account and I spend 150, I'm getting an overdraft charge. That's not the bank's fault. It's not the government's fault for letting it happen. That's me as a responsible adult for overspending. Barca are 80% responsible for this situation. They need to put their own caps in place. Like Chelsea. Chelsea won't give contracts to over a certain age. So 1 year once you're over 30, isn't it? 1, maybe 2 years. Yeah. And that's their process. And that process protects them from Willian situations where you're paying someone 300 grand a week who's past his best and isn't playing anymore. It's one of the reasons that Man United are deliberating on increasing their offer for Pogba, because they give him 400 grand a week and he spends a third to half of the season for the next 2 years out injured. It is a waste of money because they want a player on that kind of cash who's playing more regularly. So it's on them, my guy. Costa here. Has become a legend and super fan of the football terrace. My brother, thank you so much for doing that. We've got a lot of great things coming up for our members this season. I don't know if you've all seen them, but we've got brand new emojis already lined up. We've got a brand new, I'm going to put them all in here. We've got one that says smash the like button. We've got a new goat emoji. We've got a flaming football terrace logo for if you think the show's on fire. We have the brand new Leicester City badge that we have created ourselves, but we've got two great ones. So when we're doing our phone-in shows, The members are going to have great control here over it. We've got a top bins and an in the bin. So if someone phones in and they're rubbish and you're all clicking on the member button and you're all saying in the bin, we hang up on the call. We say goodbye, but we hang up. If they're great, we say top bins and they stay on for longer. We've got all those emojis available now from members. You can sign up from as little as 99p per month. Now, I'm going to do a few more super chats. Then we're going to go into this big new fantasy league partnership that we're launching today on the Football Terrace, where we're via our partners, players will be giving away to the players 1 million. I repeat, 1 million pounds in prizes this year for the players that enter. Thank you, by the way, to Tahir for becoming a legend and super fan as well. Absolute star you are. Terry, what do you make of Juve's women's recent tweet? Beyond disgraceful, just embarrassing. The casual racism within it was just abhorrent, not even funny at any level, at any time, at any point in history. Just ridiculous. And yes, they've done their apology, but just silly, absolutely silly. I don't know what they were thinking. It's just disgraceful how these things just live casually amongst us. Yeah, that's my take on that. It's just absolutely ridiculous and just embarrassing for everyone involved with that football club and that nation. I'm glad Messi is gone. The Messi era is done. Don't forget, Barca never bought Messi. He was a player who came through the academy. Barca tried to be like Abramovich over the years and lost. That's kind of true. That's definitely true. Thank you very much here as well for becoming an academy member. This is Marza Verk. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Get the use in of those new emojis as well, people. But what we're going to be bringing to you now, ladies and gentlemen, and I've got to do something for the first time ever on the Football Terrace. I'll make sure I do this. I'm going to click this button, right? And then I'm going to hit this button. And there you see, we went a little bit green. And then I'm going to bring the boys back in. There you go. We've gone green now. And we are going to be putting together, we're going to be launching now our partnership with our brand new sponsors of this show. Okay. And you can see here, this is FanTeam. Now, FanTeam have put together a brand new Premier League fantasy league. Okay. For all of you that are familiar with the FPL and do your fantasy leagues, this is a brand new and this is a season-long game that you can enter. The difference here, though, compared to the Premier League's fantasy league, is that you can win up to £1 million in prizes. The winner will receive £200,000. Now, it's available to people in multiple countries. I'm not sure of exactly which countries. As you click on there's a link in the description below that I'm also going to post right now inside the live comment section for you. I'm going to post that there. You can get it on www.fanteam.com. I'm going to post that in the links now, put in the live comments for you now. You can go and get yourself signed up. Literally, the first thing you do is put the country of registration. I know it's available in America, the UK, multiple European countries, and countries across in the Americas as well. So go across to there and get signed up to that. But it's absolutely amazing. I'm very, very excited to play this. What we're going to do on the terrace this afternoon is pick my team. You and the boys are going to help me pick my fantasy team ahead of next season, which I'm very, very excited about myself entering into this. What you need to be made aware of is a few things here. You do need to be over the age of 18 to enter, okay? There is only 60,000 places available. 9,000, and this is going to be partnered across the whole Give Me Sport and Snack communities. Already 9,000 spots gone. Already 9,000 spots gone. So you've got to get yourselves in quick. You've got to get signed up over the age of 18. As we said, the top prize is £200,000. The budget you have to spend on your teams is 100 million. But actually, they're quite reasonable in terms of prices, and we'll go through that in a minute. To enter and to play in this game, it costs you just £20 for the entire season. So all the time, the energy and the effort that you put into your normal fantasy leagues, I don't know how much time. For me, it's 3 or 4 hours a week, easy, reviewing who should I bring in and bring out. With this, very simple to enter, very quick to enter. £20 one-off entry fee, and that is you for the season, and that gives you a chance to win £200,000. Gents, how did you all get on with it in terms of setting your teams up?
I shared my team if you want to see it.
Yes, actually, what I'll do, let me just, I'll remove mine. I'll actually share yours, actually. That's the Gals team, as we can all see right there. That was your team that you set up yesterday, wasn't it? That's pretty tasty.
So I currently have Bruno Fernandes, Son, Salah leading as my main like expensive guys. My defenders, I went with mid-level defenders. I have White, Ayling on the bench. I have Shaw, Digne, and Soufal as my like more expensive defenders. And then my strikers, I went with a cheap striker in Hurst, so I can put more money into other players. And I went with Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Mikel Antonio as my main guys. And then the rest are just fillers like Jota and Bissouma. And I went with goalkeepers.
That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent indeed. I like that. How did you find it, David? Like signing up and using it and everything else?
Doing again really standard systems. You know, obviously because it's gambling, you have to do the verification, but it's really easy. Just ID, simple photo, it's done. But yeah, no, it's a really, really simple interface to use. You just click the players you want in. If it's too much, it will tell you that you can't confirm your team, and yeah, you just move on from there. My team's very similar to Agal's. I've got, I think 9 out of 10 people have got Salah and Fernandes because they're just those guys that are, you know, confirmed. I got Trent in there. I've gone 3-4-3 personally myself. I have Ben White in there. Ben White, Ben White and Diego Llorente from Leeds swapping round because I think Diego Llorente might be a slightly better fit in there. Sanchez in goal from Brighton. I think he's going to have a really good season. I've got Havertz in there because, you know, Champions League winning goal. He's got to carry on the fall, so he had to go in no matter what.
Yeah, it's very, very good. I mean, for me, Bruno Fernandes is probably going to be picked by everybody, isn't he? Like, I can't imagine nobody picking him. You know, because of the goals and because of the assists that he gets, he's going to be, you know, he's a phenomenal player in that way. He really, really is. And in terms of picking my team, I've just started throwing a few names in here to kind of look at this. But what's important for people to look at is obviously the sort of the how to plays, the point systems, and everything else that come up through this in terms of, you know, how you get your points and everything on here. So have a read through it. Make sure you're reviewing so we can put the scoring up on the screen here so everybody can see it. As you say, you get minutes if they play more than 60 minutes. If they play over 60 minutes, goalkeeper scores a goal, you know. Imagine if you had Alisson last year, that's 8 points straight away for you. So there's lots of good points here, lots of things that are not just goals and assists. So have it, I think, before you pick your team, make sure you go through this and you know what it is. So, you know, you might think, oh, this defender might score a few goals, but does he get a lot of red cards? Does he get booked a lot? Throw those things in there because, you know, points mean prizes this time around. £200,000 is going to go to the winner. I'm very, very excited about that. I mean, I'm going to kind of like, I've put a few names in already. What else would you guys suggest? I mean, I've probably thrown in too many big boys to start with so far. Like I'll put Vestergaard and Trent and Shaw into my defense. What else would you suggest defensively?
I think you should have some 4.5 defenders to fill out the rest of the team. So I wouldn't have I would spend more of my money in the midfield than my defense. You've already spent a lot of money on 3 defenders that are over 5 million.
Yeah,
I like Leeds defenders a lot because of the way that they play football. So they're going to get attacking. Luke Ayling's, you know, everyone's standard is Ayling or Llorente. Also, look out for Junior Firpo because he's a signing from Barcelona. He's one of the signings from Barcelona. I'm not sure how he's going to play in the system, but if he's playing at fullback, he's going to get a lot of chances. But he's 5 mil. So you got to weigh up whether you want to spend that extra 0.5 in your defense or your midfield. So
I would have had Fofana in there because he was cheap, but since he broke his leg, I would look at a guy like Ben White, who's 4.5, or look at someone from Brighton, like Lamptey, if he's back and healthy, because he's very attacking and he can get involved in attack as much as
I'm definitely going to do that and get that done. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do for you is next week, just before the season starts, we're going to do another show. We're going to go through it in more detail. I mentioned it a few times during the week, but get yourself signed up now. As we say, the chance to win £200,000 as a top prize. And actually, if we go back onto this again, and I'll go through this with everybody, you can also see when you scroll up here the prize pool. So the prize pool is just here as well. So as you can see, £200,000 for the winner, 75,000 if you come second, 50,000 if you come third. So if you really fancy yourself as a top player when it comes to fantasy leagues, the Premier League Fantasy League, get yourself signed up now. The link is inside our description below. Myself, David, Kendall, And Igal, Kendall couldn't be here with us today, but she'll be here from next week. We will be featuring this on a weekly basis moving forward on the terrace after the games, after the weekends. Who's got the points? Who's moved forward? Where are you in the league? So we're really excited about this partnership over the course of this season with FanTeam. So get yourself signed up now. It's an amazing offer. It's an amazing, really easy to use as well. So go and get yourself signed up and go and get that done, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go back and go back to some super chats and see what people are out here and what people are saying. We did have one here. This is, how do I become a member of the terrace? Well, that's a very nice thing for you to offer, my friend. To become a member of the football terrace is really, really easy. All you need to do is go into the link in the description below, which I will post in the comment section for you, sir. It says support the football terrace by becoming a member. You can see that link there. I'll post it now in the comment section. So thank you very, very much indeed. We had a comment here that says Chelsea signing Lukaku for 120, 130 would be worse than signing Torres, Morata, and Shevchenko, in my opinion, at 28. Fouled in the Premier League before. What's with that price tag? I mean, David, you pretty much agree with that, don't you?
Yeah, no. I again, it's got nothing to do with Lukaku as the player. I think he comes in, he scores 20, 30 goals in the season. I don't think he's worth 130 million euros. If it's 110 million euros, that's like 90 million pounds. That we can start having that conversation. Personally, for me, I wouldn't have gone above 80 personally. But if you're going to go to 90, it's okay. But when we're starting to break transfer record, that's when I start going, probably not for me personally. But
yeah, this is where me and you disagree. I think Lukaku is worth that money. I think Lukaku is going to do a great job for that amount of money. And the valuation of players has just risen up so much. Kevin, yes, I believe it is available in Ireland. I believe that it is. So what I'll actually do real quickly, I'm going to log out of my account and then I'm going to just click on register and I'll check. So if any of you want to ask what countries it's available in, let me know and I will. I'll while we're live on the air, I'll give that a little check. And have a look. But yes, Ireland. Let me check for Ireland for you. I would assume so. Yes, it's available in Ireland. So if you're in Ireland, it's there. A few people, someone said Hong Kong. Yes, Hong Kong. Yes, the United States. It's in the majority of countries, if I'm being honest. Pakistan, somebody asked me. Yes, it's in Pakistan. Someone asked me India. Where? Canada? Let's check if it's in Canada. Yes, Canada. It's pretty much everywhere, to be fair. So you can register in all those countries and you can get yourselves involved. Yes, man, like Latimus. Latimus is going to sign up. We knew Latimus to sign up to that. Top man. Thank you. It is available in Canada. Yes, it's available in Wales. Is it available in Australia? That's a good question. Yes, Australia. It is available in Australia. So get yourself signed up. FanTeam. Get yourselves in. You'll see it all over their website when you go over there. So go and get that done. Maka Fetty has become an official member today of the Football Terrace. He's joined and become a legend and super fan. Top man. Thank you very much for doing that, my friend. It means a great deal to us that you have signed up in that way. But of course, today's big show is about Lionel Messi. Where's he going to go? Where's he going to end up? And I think, listen, unless we get a quick resolution, I think there's still going to be some many trials and tribulations in the next few days, don't you think, gents?
100%. At the end of the day, when it comes down to the whole Messi situation, we know Barcelona are trying to do tug of war with La Liga. We know Messi himself hasn't spoken. We know that PSG are interested. All these other clubs are interested. But at the end of the day, they also have to sell players and they also have to find ways to get him in, even if they want to get it. I don't think PSG could just sign him right now without having to sell players themselves eventually. So there's going to have to be a lot of moving parts before everything gets done. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm not gonna say, hey, Messi's gone 100%. I'm still thinking, I didn't give my percentage. I think it's still 70-30 that he still stays. 70% he still stays at Barcelona.
Yeah, it's very interesting indeed. A few people were asking, is it available in Nigeria? Yes, it is available in South Africa as well. Somebody says, is it available in Dubai? I don't know if it's available in Dubai. I can't see it on there. Let me have a look here. It does. I'm going to be really ignorant here, geography. It says it's available in the United Arab Emirates. Is that include Dubai? That includes Dubai. Yes, I thought it did. I just went to double check because I'm not great when it comes to geography. Somebody says, what about, is it available in Lewisham? Yes, it is. Zambia. Yes, it's available in Zambia. So get yourself across. I mean, literally, if you click on the website and go on the countries, legitimately, I think you'll find it there, ladies and gentlemen. I think you will. So go and get yourselves. Yes, Winter Surfer is available in Stevenage. Get yourself signed up to it now. Get yourselves involved. Honestly, listen, it's £20 entry on a reel here. £20 for the season. That's it. That's all you pay. If you don't get signed up now, there's going to be a Champions League one, and there are weekly giveaways as well, weekly opportunities to do it. But with the amount of time and energy you put into the normal Premier League one, why not, if you can, if it's affordable to you, have a go at this and maybe win 200 grand. Imagine that. Imagine that. That'd be quality. Thank you here. We've got some more sign-ups here. Hey, all, there we go. The team over the team here from FanTeams are in the comment section. Big up themselves. Great people over there. Any questions you do have, feel free to pump them into me if you're not too sure about things, and we can get you into some contact there. No problems whatsoever. Martinez update, my friend, has already happened, but I can give it to you again, of course, because you've sent in that wonderful super chat. Arsenal are putting together a third bid. All I've been told today is that I've reached out to about 4 different journalists. Dean just came back to me and said, this was a really pivotal week. It's hard to know what's going to happen, but Arsenal are still pushing. A couple of the other journalists I spoke to, Sasha, as an example, said Arsenal are pushing forward. He's heard with a third offer, an improved offer, but no one knows much more than that at this time. I would say feel encouraged because you're still pushing for it. Thank you very much here to Mr. Dan, who's become an Academy member of the Football Terrace today. Thank you very much indeed. I think I've started a thing here. Is it available in Turkey? I mean, I'll have a look. I'm assuming so. Yes, it's available in Turkey. Yes, it is. It's not available in the ocean. That isn't. It's not available in the ocean, unfortunately. It's definitely available in East London because that's where your man here is from. And as Latimus here says, it's available in the vast majority of countries. Yeah, it literally is. I think it'll be hard pushed to find it. Not, if your country doesn't have internet, you wouldn't even be able to watch me. If you've got the internet, it's pretty much there. Like, I don't think North Korea is on the list. No, I don't know. I don't know. No. North Korea is not on the list, but South Korea isn't either, to be fair. But there we go. In fact, I've never had anyone on the show say that they're watching from South Korea. It's one of the countries that no one's ever said they're watching from. D.H here has signed up and become a member as well, a first-team member of the Football Terrace. Thank you very well. Actually, I think yes. Thank you very much indeed. That means a great deal to us this afternoon. Let's do a few more of these. Let's do a few more comments here. No, Twisted Barber, I'm not putting that one up on the screen. Not doing that. That's a funny one. That's quite a funny one there. Thank you as well here to Mama Flossie, who's become, sometimes I have to double check before I read these out. I don't want to have a Don Robbie moment. You get what I'm saying, boys? Saying has become an official Academy member today of the Football Terrace. There we go. 7
days, Terry. Are you excited
about the start of the Prem?
7 days. I'm so excited. I just can't wait because Arsenal's always one of the teams doing the first games, and it's like it can go one of two ways. Either we could beat Brentford and just be Arsenal supposed to win, or it could be a situation where it's misery on the first day.
Ivan Toney packs you in 3-0. If Arsenal lost to Brentford, the thing is though, I've said it. I think Brentford are staying up. That's my thing for like the season. I'm back in Brentford here. Because again, last season when they played teams like Newcastle and Spurs, they really showed that they can play their football. So if they rocked up week 1 and shocked Arsenal, would it shock me? No, it would not. I'm really backing Brentford all the way. They're gonna survive the Premier League.
A bit of an update here very quickly. So this has come from Fabrizio Romano, who has said that Chelsea are not working on signing Lionel Messi at the moment. Only PSG are in the race. However, not one journalist knows everything. And do you know what's really funny? I think Marca were the outlet that broke the Messi thing not happening. And it got disregarded because they're looked at as the son of Spain, right? And then it happened. Earlier on this week, Fabrizio said, impossible Chelsea get Lukaku, and he's just said 45 minutes ago, and these are his words, and I quote, "At the moment, it's difficult for Inter to keep Lukaku. Things change very, very quickly, so don't 100% rule it out. But as everyone knows, PSG are the favourites by a long, long way." Thank you here to YouTube Ivory for becoming an official Academy member. To hear with another super chat says, "Terry, I missed the live stream you used to do from the city. Hopefully you'll throw back a stream from the streets of London. Miss the old days." Well, tomorrow we are all in London. It's the first official Football Terrace meetup. And I have to stream because I have to work. Like I can't have a day off. So I will be streaming in London tomorrow. Maybe we'll do it a little bit old school. I do miss that as well, really. But my streams used to be about 10 minutes long as well. They used to have 10 minutes, really quick and stuff like that. But listen, we're always going to pay homage to the original stuff we used to do on the terrace. The Football Terrace away days are going to be a lot of fun when they start as well. And members will be getting preferential treatment in terms of getting into the studio or being at the away day. The first big away day event, got the location sorted. Monday or Tuesday, I'm in a meeting with them to sort out the dates and when we're going to be doing it. 200 people will be able to watch us do these shows live. We'll have a really good panel. The first one we'll probably do will be a match. We'll probably cover a match because it makes it a little bit more entertaining. But the idea is to try and do 1 or 2 Football Terrace away days, starting in London, then spreading across the country. We've also had a company come to us from Los Angeles, and they wanted to go to a place in Los Angeles and host a Football Terrace, a weekend of Football Terrace streams and events from their big sports bar just outside Los Angeles, actually, by the coast. It looks absolutely amazing. So we've got a lot of things in the pipeline. So if you're in the States and you're one of our members, it's going to be really, really good. Terry, did Fab take down the tweet? It's not there. No, it wasn't a tweet. It was someone quoting him from his show. So yeah, it wasn't a tweet. It was someone quoting him from his show, my friend. But there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned into the Football Terrace today, all the brand new members, 10 of you have signed up for membership today, which is just absolutely humbling. All the super chatters, thank you. Everyone that's about to sign up to Fan Cred, go and get that done now. The link for that is in the description below. It's going to be an amazing season when it comes to the fantasy element. We're going to feature it for a number of shows. We're really going to do this. And the biggest reason I'm going to push this, because I'm going to win. I'm going to win it. And I'm going to take that 200K, and I'm going to do a live stream in my bathtub with it filled up with a 200K. That's what I'm going to fill it up. Probably have to get £5 notes to fill it up with, just so there's enough of them. But I'm going to lay in a bath and do a stream with the 200K around me because I'm winning. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to win it. A few people asking for Koundé updates. That's why it's on the lower third. I should have changed that, really. Koundé's situation hasn't changed at all. It's all positive still. It's very, very positive indeed. The only thing that's gone wrong is Chelsea expected Koundé to either accept Sevilla's offer or to go to West Ham. And the idea was he either goes to Sevilla, done, or we send him to West Ham, we use that cash plus what we already offered in cash to Sevilla, done deals. Zuma's thrown a spanner in the works by doing the unthinkable and saying no to both, right? Which is kind of confused and frustrated Chelsea in this negotiation. I'm very confident in this in terms of who I've been speaking to. Simon Johnson from The Athletic said he's been assured this deal is going to go through. Matt Laura said it's a huge priority signing for Chelsea. So I would say remain relaxed. Once Lukaku's out the way, expect to see that deal motor forward. Still highly likely to be a deal that concludes positively for Chelsea Football Club. Terry, how do I register for the Fantasy League? What I'll actually show you, what I'll actually do. Let me click on here, right? So I'll put it up on the screen, right? So what you do, you go onto their website, as you can see here, and that's the big thing here. So you create an account here as an example. As you can see, official fantasy sponsor of Fulham FC as well. So legit, really great company. All you do is you click on the register button at the top here. You can see where my mouse goes. You click on register in the top right, and then you put all your details in. And as you can see, when you click on this here, you can see all the list of the countries. It isn't going to show it on the screen because it's a sharing app, and obviously this is private information. So I can see it, but you can't because, of course, it knows I'm sharing my screen. So the technology won't allow me to do that because it's private information. But you literally click on the register button, and in the top right corner, the link is in the description below. If you haven't got that link, I'll post it in the live comment section for you. You can find that and go and get yourself signed up and ready to go ahead of the new season. But gentlemen, I thank you all very much for coming on. All of the viewers, again, all of the super chatters. It means an absolute so much to me that you all sign up and that you've all, you watch and you subscribe to the Football Terrace every single day. Back later on with more content for you, as always. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very